developers at Rockstar are now complaining because they don't want to go to work. They don't want to go to the office. I know there's a bunch of different opinions on here, but listen, hear what I have to say. All right, first, let's just look at this for a second. Remember when Rockstar was like, meet some of the talented women behind games from Rockstar. Look at that. We hire a bunch of women and I see at least one they, them in there. Yay, good for us, right? Right? Oh, wow. Now all of a sudden, oh no, this is reckless. We don't want to have to go to the office. Gee, I wonder why. So I made this tweet. I said, this is what happens when you hire for diversity instead of merit and passion for the industry. People complain about going to work. Now, when you think about video games and you think about like successful games, dude, Grand Theft Auto 5 being like the most successful game release ever. This is the Super Bowl. I mean, this is even more than the Super Bowl because that happens every year. But this is like the Super Bowl on steroids of video games. To be able to work with Rockstar on the next Grand Theft Auto game, I mean, what person passionate about game design, game development, and all that kind of stuff wouldn't want to be a part of this monumentally massive project? And here we have people complaining because they have to go into the office. Now, of course, people take my caption here way out of context because they don't know how to have genuine discussion, and instead they've got to make everything, oh, you disagree with me, you're a bigot, you're a racist, you're a misogynist, this, that, and the other. So we have this person here, and I had a number of quote tweets like it that said, I don't understand how people not wanting to go to the office is because they are minorities. Oh, this is just racist. Oh, you're just saying minorities don't want to work. So then I replied, I said, way to completely miss the point. I'm saying people were hired based on characteristics like being a woman, as we see here, instead of their passion for the franchise. Tons of capable people would be happy to work in the office on this game. And this is where we're at in the gaming industry at large. I mean, ever since you have all these DEI policies, you have the ESG scores, the BlackRock funding, and all of that, a lot of people are getting hired in the gaming industry just because they meet certain check boxes, because of what they look like, or who, like, their characteristics as human beings instead of what they are able to produce, their talent, their passion, this, that, and the other. And used to, video games were developed by people who just freaking loved the hobby before it became this glamorous, popularized thing. And we see a huge difference in video games as a result. And this is one reason why I have been going on and on and on for years now. Oh, old games for the most part, more retro games or games from back in the day are way better than most modern games. What are most modern games right now? They're cinematic experiences that are made super, first of all, very, very baby down QTEs, glorified walking simulators. Oh, things get too hard. Let's have the character tell the player what to do, because people who they're marketing to aren't actual gamers. They're not the same people that were being marketed to back in the day with the harder games and with games that actually were, hey, this is a game. This is designed to be a game. This isn't about just being a vegetable on your couch so that you can watch a story. You actually had to use some brain cells every once in a while, right? And so a lot of people who are being hired care more about inserting a message, care more about inserting character identities, and oh, but we need this representation, this, that, and the other, instead of just, hey, let's make good games. Let's make fun games. Now, a lot of people in the comments are like, hey, why can't they work from home though? I mean, this is Grand Theft Auto. Like, how does this not compute? Like I said, this is beyond the Super Bowl of video games. I mean, the last Grand Theft Auto 5 sold almost 200 million units. Made so much money. A product at this scale. This isn't the same as like, oh, okay, Susan wants to work from home because she works in IT and like tech support or something. You know, this is a massive release that has already had leaks before. All right, so there's already been leaks surrounding this game. You want to be able to keep your eye on it. You're going to want it to build a lot of company morale and so on and so forth. And hey, I understand. I think being able to work from home is an awesome thing. I'm a streamer. I work from home. Of course, people got to do the ad hominems in reply to this instead of just having a discussion. It's like, well, what about you? You work from home. Did I apply to work at Rockstar? No. Why am I being brought into this? What does this have to do with me? And when I was on Side Scrollers earlier, I talked about, okay, let me think of a dream project for myself. A dream project for me would be like, if I were able to help work on a classic Tomb Raider game. Obviously, that wouldn't be the case. I've been canceled a million billion times over. But if that were a scenario, and hey, we want you to come in to the office with a bunch of other people who are super passionate about classic Tomb Raider and Lara Croft and so on and so forth, I'd be like, heck yeah, let's go. This is a dream project. I would be going to the office with bells on. I'd be like, heck yes. Like, just think of your favorite thing ever. Or even with something like Jujutsu Kaisen. It's like, okay, we want you to I'm a big Jujutsu Kaisen fan. So it's like, we want you to help work with this on this next Jujutsu Kaisen project. Oh my gosh, yeah, sign me up. Like, and being surrounded by people who are also very passionate about that, that does help boost morale. So I would love an opportunity like that. And I'm sure a lot of you guys, if you were to think about, this isn't just, okay, you're clocking in, you're clocking out at your job. It's like, this is for many people, is like a passion project. It's like a dream come true. And to be able to share that morale with a bunch of other people there in the office, that's only going to boost things. And now, obviously, it's like, okay, yeah, you still have your commute, you still have your this and that adds to it. But it's like, again, Super Bowl projects. Do you see NFL players like, oh my goodness, we have to go to practice too much. Oh no. Like when I was doing college football, I didn't have to practice as much. No. This is the big leagues. And okay, there's crunch too. People are like, oh God. And I do think, as for the most part, ideally you wouldn't be put in a bunch of crunch scenarios. But again, with a project at this scale, you're not putting in crunch for Hello Kitty Island Adventure 7. Like, this kind of crunch is for Rockstar drops Grand Theft Auto games like, man, it's been over a decade since the last Grand Theft Auto game. So again, this is a monumental, massive project. To have your name in the credits of this project is huge. It's massive. So this is something completely different. I mean, crunch is to be expected with something like this. It just is. Doesn't mean it's ideal, but dude, you picked this industry and you picked a company notoriously known for having such massive projects such as this, that they crunch. You applied knowing this. So I can't wrap my head around it. This also applies to even think about people's own personal projects and things like that. Think about mangakas, people making their own manga, people making their own comics, independent creators. Look at the dude who made, why am I forgetting that? Stardew Valley. Look at the dude who made Stardew Valley. Worked a full-time job at a movie theater, then went home and was working on his game. Put in countless hours into it. When you're in creative fields and you're working on passion projects, that's the nature of it. So it's like, okay, if you just want a very chill work from home job, clock in, clock out at the right time, why did you pick this company? Why did you pick this industry? Why did you pick to be a part of a project that is so high stakes? I mean, the money that even is going into developing this kind of thing, they need to have massive sales. There is a bunch of pressure on this. And so I just don't understand. And I remember trying, back in the day, like wanting to be in the gaming industry. And when I first started getting gaming industry projects, right? It was like, okay, this is dream job. Before I went like independent, doing what I'm doing now, but before then it was like, okay, when I wanted to just get into like hosting, things like that, doing Fragdolls type stuff, which I don't know if you know what Fragdolls are, but that's how I got my start in gaming stuff. I interned with them, then I got like a full-time position working for Ubisoft to promote video games and stuff. Man, I just think of one of the most hectic projects I was a part of was right before Assassin's Creed 3 launched, and there was a Rock the Vote tour, and I had to be in a new city every other day across the country, or there was like they picked like specific regions where like Middle East Coast or whatever, but regardless, it's like I was on a flight or renting cars and driving, and I had to like work with brand ambassadors and lead teams of brand ambassadors to set this up, get demo stations up, do that. I was exhausted. It was insane. I did that for like at least like, I want to say a month straight. And it was, I can't remember for sure. It's foggy. It was back in 2012. But oh my goodness. At no point was I like, oh, I wish I should be working from home right now. Yes, I was exhausted. Yes, I was putting in insane travel time and working very long days. But I was grateful to do it. I was like, hey, this is what I signed up for. Yeah, it was hard, but it's just like, what happened to the passion for the industry? It's when they stopped hiring people who are passionate about it. And I'm not trying to prop myself as, look at me, I'm so this, that, or the other. It's not that. It's that there are people who are genuinely passionate about the industry, about these projects. There are a ton of people who would be more than happy to take part in this. And so, to me, to see this kind of stuff over such a hugely anticipated game launch from a sequel to the best-selling game of all time? I mean, this isn't for the faint of hearts. So it's just like boggles my mind here that there's even this discourse in the first place. Like, dude, work on the next Hello Kitty Island adventure if you want something chill. But this ain't gonna be chill. But yeah, I'm just sick of it. I'm sick of current gaming industry politics, how they're hiring people, and the complaining going around it. Gaming journalists that hate video games being video games. Man, I just miss the days where people were passionate about video games. Are some of these companies shady as freaking heck? Do some of these companies take advantage of their employees? And are they just laying off a ton of people and this, that, and the other? Yes. Yes. Let's not pretend like that isn't a thing. But as a whole, it's like, dude, this is an industry for people who are very passionate about it. And we've seen it change for the worse because people who are being put in these jobs don't have the same passion as people who were working in the gaming industry 10 years ago. Not all of them. Of course, there's some who are still, but it's just like, it just sucks to see it because I remember a lot of y'all, you remember back in the day, it was like, oh, these were people's dream jobs. And now you just see people complaining all the time because they got to go into the office. I don't know what's going on. I just don't. But feel free to weigh in the comments below. Let me know what you think. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me today. If you want me to read the Bible to you, you can check out my Bible channel, Bible Time with Melanie Mac, and my gaming streams on YouTube, Kick, not Twitch anymore right now because I'm suspended because I talked about Bible stuff. And probably Rumble as well at Melanie Mac. I'm figuring all that out. Streams will be back soon. But thank you all again. I'll catch you next time. And in the meantime, go boom. Miles Morales is Miles Morales.